What's up guys, my name is Aaron aka Super Liger Tiger and this is Worth It. Welcome back everyone. In case you forgot what Worth It is, I usually buy a product, I tell you the good, the bad, the ugly about it, and in the comments below, you let me know if it's worth it or not. And while you're here, make sure to like and subscribe so I can continue to get more stuff and make more videos. So for today's Worth It, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I usually buy a product and review it. Today on Worth It, this one is going to be about the journey of how I got this product. But before we get into that, today we will be reviewing the Xbox Series S. So let's open it up. So here's the Xbox Series S. And to continue with the mystery of this, well not this product, but the journey we have here, this is a used Xbox Series S. So opening it won't have the same effect as opening a new one, but we'll open it either way. There's no tape at the bottom, so there's easy access. At the top here, you just have like cardboard that says Xbox on it. On the inside, we have whatever these two things are. I think this one is to help you install or put in your batteries into the controller. I didn't know this controller takes batteries. All the ports in the console and everything like that. And here itself is the Xbox Series S, which is surprisingly thin. It's only like, I don't know how to describe it, but like this big. It's a lot thinner than the PlayStation 5 and obviously bigger than the Switch, but it is a pretty thin one, I think also compared to the Xbox Series X. On the inside here, we have the controller, which is still in the bag, so I wonder how much this console was actually used by the person that I got this from. Controller feels good, you have all your buttons, everything, has a great response to it so far, but we'll see. And then on here, you have your HDMI cable, and you have your plug-in to the Xbox, which is kind of amazing to me because last time I had an Xbox, it had a giant brick. So just having a small thing like this is pretty cool. And then on the side here, you have your product and regulatory guide, warranty, all that fun stuff. So yeah, this is the Xbox, I should turn it the right way, Xbox Series S. So because this is my first ever used console, I'm actually pretty nervous about this next part. Because you never know if when you buy a used console, if it's actually going to work, or when it does work, if it's a banned console. One first quick impression about this, as you guys heard me talk about this a lot, I think, so far, is that this is a pretty light console, like surprisingly light. But with the Xbox controllers, they still rely on AA batteries for them to be powered, which I don't understand why. Every controller I have, minus the wired ones, are all powered through USB. But I did buy this right here, which is the Play and Charge kit. It's already open, so you don't get to see that. But on the back here, it's basically a rechargeable battery that you just replace the back with and put in the battery here, and everything works out well. So, as you can see, Xbox is here. I have it all plugged in. Now, I think it's time for me to hope for the best. Okay, so I have the console plugged in, and I push the button here. We see a little white light turned on, which I hope that means it's working. And then holding down the controller does the same thing. It looks like we have power, so the Worth It will not end here with a broken console. The Worth It now gets to continue with a potentially banned console. Now, let me try plugging this one into the screen and see if we have a banned console. Look at this, a whole new angle. So, after plugging it in, turning it on, switching the HDMI, for some reason I'm not able to screen record, but it looks like I'm now on the setup phase for the Xbox. And if you haven't had an Xbox since the 360, kind of like me, you do need to actually download the Xbox app. Like most things that you've seen on my past Worth It's, there is an app. This one is no different, and I guess this one is essential for setting up. I guess it's kind of like the PlayStation app where you can see your friends, buy games, do things like that. But it is kind of weird that you do need an app to set up an Xbox. So far, the Xbox is working out, and I guess one of the cool things that also part of my first impressions is that you can connect your Xbox straight to the Google Home. And as a person who has a ton of Google Home like speakers and stuff like that, I think this is pretty cool. You can tell like Google to turn on the Xbox. You can tell it to turn it off, tell it to play things. I think that's really cool because none of my other consoles can do that. Can't see it that well, but setup is complete, and I am actually liking the directional pad on this controller. It has a great like clicky feel that no other controller has. The joysticks feel similar to what I remember for like the past Xbox controllers. They feel like every other one. But I really like this D-pad a lot. And it looks like everything is working out. This console isn't banned. So, once again, worth it continues. I'm so excited. And I'm so excited to also share this journey with you guys. Now, a little bit about this little console here is that this is the Xbox Series S. Microsoft also released an Xbox Series X, which is the one that if you are doing hardcore gaming and whatnot on the Xbox, you'll want to get that one. That one has 1 terabyte, whereas this one only has 512 gigabytes, so seeing as how big games are getting, this will not be able to hold that much unless you get extended storage. Besides the storage, the Xbox Series X is able to do 12 teraflops of processing power and can do true 4K, whereas this only does 1440p, so this is the, in a way, inferior console compared to the Xbox Series X. But in reality, they're both basically the same. The Xbox Series X is the bigger one that does have a disk drive, whereas if you kind of see with me holding it up, the Xbox Series S does not have a disk drive and is specifically disk-free, downloads only. So if you are looking to use discs, have bigger storage, and are looking for an Xbox, this one is not the one for you. If you are doing more like casual gaming, like me, because as you see kind of in this corner, the Switch that you saw in a different video, I have the PS5 out there, I have my built PC, so I don't really exactly need an Xbox Series S to really do a lot of gaming. This is more of just like the casual, potentially download like Netflix and use that as a Netflix device, or if I want to play like exclusives like Forza, then I can do it on here. So for the Xbox Series S, the biggest downfall is really the size of the memory that it has here. As I mentioned, you have 512 gigabytes, and with, as I also mentioned, games getting pretty huge, that's probably 2 games you can download. So it limits you on how much you can download and how much you can play. Luckily, Xbox and Microsoft have something called Game Pass, which is $14.99 a month, and you can essentially play all the games that they do have listed there. They also do have cloud gaming, so if there are any games located on the cloud gaming part and you don't want to download anything or you're out of data or space, you can try that, and you don't have to download it. So those are good alternatives, and that is pretty helpful, but like it is a little bit difficult to kind of get past that 512 unless you are buying like an external hard drive or external whatever can make it better. So now the explanation of the journey of how I acquired this Xbox Series S, which is actually really slim and really light, and it's kind of amazing. It's so much lighter than the PS5. Obviously, it's not lighter than the Nintendo Switch because, you know, that's a handheld hybrid thing. But basically, if you look kind of here and potentially up here, and then kind of over here, you would see that there is a lot of like Funkos in my life. There's more on these shelves over here. Maybe I'll just B-roll it to that. But there's a lot of Funkos in my life, and back in 2016, I used to consistently buy them, all the ones that I liked, and basically like new ones as well that came out, especially if they are limited edition. After I was going on like the Funko craze, I kind of stopped after that, and kind of only started buying like limited ones, even to like a point where I just completely stopped for like, I guess, a year or two. And so some of the ones from like 2016 have kind of went up in price. Like Funkos are kind of ridiculous. You have some that are like worth like $300. You have some that are worth a lot more than that. If you get it signed by like the voice actor, if it's a like cartoon Funko, then they're worth a ton of money. But besides that, I had one specific one Wolfpack Sting from WCW into WWE, AEW, all of that. This one I bought for like $15 when it came out in 2016, and today it had a value of around 90 to 110. So when I saw that the Xbox Series S went on sale at Target, because they had like discounts and stuff like that, I started to kind of look at like used ones, and one of them had someone asking to trade Funkos for the Xbox. So basically I offered the Wolfpack Sting, and here we are today with an Xbox Series S. So overall my adrenaline has been pretty high from being able to trade a Funko for a next-gen console essentially. The whole time I was working on the trade with the guy, I was super suspicious about the whole thing, especially after I received it. That's why I was pretty nervous that it wasn't going to power on or is going to be like banned for cheating or anything like that. But obviously it worked out a lot in my favor, and I do encourage trying to do trades that may seem shady but really aren't. So in the end, besides the trade itself, for the Xbox Series S, obviously it is much more reduced than its counterpart, the Xbox Series X. If you are looking for a next-gen Xbox console and you do need discs, you need space, and you want a little bit more power, the Xbox Series X is going to be the console targeted for you. But it is pretty hard to find. If you are content with basically the same specs, not that much of a difference, but no disk drive and the power of Microsoft's Game Pass, then the Microsoft Xbox Series S is for you. The S is also easier to find in stores, as I was able to find it on like Amazon, on Target. Coming up in our holiday season, it's going to be reduced down to like $200. It is normally $250, but there are going to be a lot of deals coming up because not a lot of people want the Xbox Series S, and it's very understandable why. So overall, yeah, if you do just want an Xbox console because all your friends are playing Xbox and you don't really need a lot of stuff, Xbox Series S. If you want to go on the hunt, kind of like how I was for PlayStation 5s, the Xbox Series X is harder to find, but it will be much more of a next-gen console that you want. So in the end, as I mentioned, this has been a very adrenaline-filled journey. I got the Xbox Series S for trading in a Funko to someone. It has been wild, and I don't know if I'll do it again, but I probably will because I love the thrill. So in the end, is it worth it? Let me know.